Am I on?
Hello everybody out there. Welcome to our latest Stanley Hotel Investigation vlog.
We hope you had a really good Thanksgiving. I think we all did.
We're going to be talking about some of the investigations we had on Friday the 20th and Saturday the 21st of November. That's going to be rounding out the month of November for us. Check it out.
Something that's been happening really frequently in Lucy's room are these little lights just darting across the room.
Michelle and I spent some time in Lucy's room with the group, and we at one point saw this blue flash of light.
I mean, I was looking right at it. It wasn't in the corner of my eye or anything, and I just saw it move across Lucy's room.
And we saw this blue light flash all of a sudden, and then it dissipated really quickly.
And as soon as I said something about it, sure enough, Connor said, yeah, I saw that too. And then someone else in the room had seen it as well. Like extra voices that were trying to just, pick apart, like to run this, and I just saw blue
and flashing light.
Did you see that?
Against the white door.
On my right?
Yeah. I was looking right over there.
I was too.
There's a ball of light. I have no idea where it originated from or what that was.
I honestly have no idea what these things are.
But blue lights flashing has been a reoccurring thing.
Generally, you almost think it's kind of a trick of your eyes, but the second you say something about it, someone else in the group saw it too. Especially
downstairs and down in Lucy's room.
They're usually really small, really bright, but they come in different colors.
Sometimes the lights are red though, which is interesting. So I'm not sure where that change is happening because they're on two completely opposite sides of the visible light spectrum, blue and red.
I don't necessarily know if it's a ghost or it's an energy. I wouldn't go as far as to call it an orb, but it's definitely really weird and it's happening more and more frequently.
On the night of November 20th, which was the Friday night, Carl and Michelle were down in Lucy's room, and I took the other half of the group up to the balcony. So what happened was there was these two gigantic elk that were hanging out outside the building. Everybody was like, wow, and they get up and everybody's standing up in the balcony and they're looking out the windows to see these gigantic bull elk standing outside the concert hall. Now, while this is happening, suddenly a group member goes, hey, there's blue lights flashing on the stage. And I look over and the geophone, which is a vibration detector that I had set up on the stage, started going off.
Yeah. The vibration thing just went off. What?
Did it really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good sign. Oh, there is again. I mean, that thing never goes off.
Are we paying too much attention to the elk?
Maybe they're walking over there to go see him too. What is setting that off? And the weird thing is it all happened at the same time as the group walking across the balcony to go look at these elk out the window. It was almost as if there was a spirit on the stage sort of walking around and being like, oh, what's everybody looking at? Because it was going in the direction, it appeared, of the window where the elk were standing out. So it's like they were down below us on the stage, looking out the window at the elk at the same time as everybody else was upstairs. I tested this to make sure that the geophone was completely independent and it wasn't all the movement up in the balcony setting it off. And I definitely, it was alone, standalone, because you could sit there and we could have 15 people stomping up and down upstairs and it wouldn't set off the vibration detector. So whatever was down there was focused on the stage and they were walking around just as we were. It was pretty cool.
So Michelle and I are down in Lucy's room with our first group, and one of the first things that happens in that room is the geophone goes off. It's very briefly, it only happens one time, but this is a little bit continuing a trend that we've seen for the last couple of weeks, is that on occasion we will have geophones go off down in Lucy's room just once or twice. Now we've been using those geophones for 5 years at this point, and for the most part they don't generally go off, but here we are in Lucy's room, one does go off again and we don't have an explanation for it. And this is the same weekend that Connor saw geophone go off up on the stage while he was up in the balcony with his group. So after the geophone was going off in Lucy's room, things got a little bit strange. And those three things that happen a lot in Lucy's room are shifting light and shadows, changes in temperature, and a weird anxious type of feeling. And we got all of those after that geophone was going off.
Carl and I both felt this feeling of dread and sadness and melancholy all at the same time.
I even had a moment when, trying to be open on the ghost hunt, I pointed out it feels like it's sort of melancholy in there. Now, it could have just been my mood, it could have just been a passing thought, but we try to be open.
But Carl decided to speak up about it, and he said, I just feel a sadness in this room, and I've never felt that before. And I said, I'm feeling it too, definitely.
And it turns out Michelle was feeling the same way, and a good part of the group was also feeling anxious and uncomfortable.
Shortly after Carl and I had discussed the melancholy feeling in Lucy's room, a girl who's participating in our ghost hunt just got really overwhelmed really quickly.
That came out, which sounds kind of nice and easy until you start wondering how the spirit knows what energy levels to manipulate it to say different words.
I'm really lightheaded right now, like total chills right here.
You're in the hot spot.
It is the hot seat.
What'd you say?
There is something over here.
Yeah, it's weird.
We have this seat in the room that we call the hot seat, and it's kind of the joke right now because so many people are getting touched and they're getting strange experiences there that, you know, that's sort of the one spot that we notice who sits there and what happens to them that night. And this night we had something there in Lucy's room. One young lady was sitting there and she started to feel very uncomfortable. She started to get a little bit anxious. She didn't enjoy it very much. They were also feeling weird shifts in the temperature. They were both feeling very hot around their faces. And then finally, the woman just felt like she was about to burst into tears. And she actually had to step outside of the room because the feeling got so intense that she didn't want to cry in front of everybody.
Which is fine, that's what we suggest doing, but it was really validating that someone else in the group felt it other than just Carl and myself.
Are you sad? I got really overwhelmed. Oh, wow.
I feel like
Oh
I'm
my god, really overwhelmed. I'm like tearing up. Oh my god.
Like emotion-wise or
Yeah, like, whew. I just got like swamped. Oh my god, no. Oh my god, I might have to step out. I might gonna cry. Oh my god, no. Oh, that's weird. I'm like literally tearing up. I'm not shitting you. No, it like swamped me. It just like hit like a ton.
See, I've seen that happen a lot.
Oh my god. Like, can I step out? Like, I'm literally crying. Can you come with me, please?
And this has happened before. I've seen it happen to skeptic men on the ghost hunts who weren't expecting anything to happen, and yet here they are, tears leaking down their face. Whether or not that's a spirit trying to communicate with them, whether or not that's an empath sort of reaction, or just what, we're not really sure, but it's cool. Again in Lucy's room on the night of the 20th, we've got a group down there and we're running the Ovilus. Now, the Ovilus is a device that I really want to hate because for the most part, it's kind of a false positive generator. The one that we use here at the Stanley is an Ovilus X, and essentially we like to run it on reverse phonetic mode, which is mechanical voice gibberish mode in essence. And so it's very easy to hear what you want to hear out of this device. So there in Lucy's room, the Ovilus is rolling with the group, and we hear pretty clearly this name Jessica come through. See Eddie, Paul, any new spirits, spirit from the last group. We're curious about who's in here. We've been singing some songs. Jessica.
What? Jessica?
Do we have a Jessica in here?
Yeah.
We've been singing some songs. We've been singing some songs. And of course, Jessica is the name of one of the members in our group. Now, this was just after we were inviting a spirit to introduce themselves, so we're not sure if that was a spirit introducing themselves as Jessica, or if they were calling out to a group member as a familial spirit, but we got this name. Now, everything after that, though, it gets a little bit hard to tell. Some of those we're not sure if because we're expecting that person to be communicated with, we're making associative words. I'm talking about the hallway. Everyone hears the word hallway. Not sure, but I'm going to play a couple of those clips for you guys, and you guys can kind of make your own decisions about which ones might be something spiritual and which ones might just be us hearing what we want to hear. I know that thing's still chatting right now, but how's everyone feeling in here right now, just in general? Has it changed at all? Is it weird? Is it comfortable? In general, has it changed at all? Is it weird? In general, has it changed at all? Is it weird? Yahweh? Hallway. Should we open the door again for you? Are you stuck in the hallway? My bad.
Let him in.
Come on in.
In. He just said
Oh
in.
my
In.
Oh.
Come on in. Come on in.
In.
Come on in.
In.
Well, we got about a minute here, so to tell you guys real quick what this last hour is going to look like. All right, lay it on you.
So if you guys watched our last vlog, you saw that there was somebody trying to get a hold of me. There was somebody saying my name throughout several different devices. It all started when a psychic one night in early November pointed at me and said, "There's somebody trying to get a hold of you in the concert hall." My last name started coming across on the Ovilus. Then after that, we had my voice come across on a spirit box.
Can you say the name of somebody you want to talk to?
Then I heard my name as a disembodied voice while I was cleaning up. Now, this came across for a 5th time. We heard my name on an EVP this time. Michelle's family was up on the ghost hunt with us, and Michelle decided to take the rest of the group to the tunnels, but 3 of her family members decided to stay behind and sit up on the balcony with me. Now, we are the only ones in this area at the time, and everybody else had left, and so we decided to do a quick little burst session. Now, you'll hear us talking about the wind outside, and suddenly another voice comes in, and it really sounds to me and several other people like they're saying my name. Now, I'm really looking for your assistance here because I want to hear what you guys think is being said. I have a slight idea, but I'm not exactly sure. I think there might be 2 or 3 syllables right before my name is said. And if there's a message there, I definitely want it to be more clear cut, but I think there's something there. So go ahead and pause this video. I just stopped moving. You didn't actually pause it. Pause the video now and go break out the headphones and give it a listen and let me know what you guys hear. Yeah. The wind is making it.
The wind makes it. Do you guys ever, do y'all ever see?
So we're not sure who this is that is trying to talk to Connor. We're not sure what message they might have for him, but we are all very curious to find out who it is that's trying to get in touch. And hopefully we get that answer, because sometimes things happen up here at the hotel that just fall a little bit flat and we're left never having that answer. So we're gonna be chasing that down to really make an active point to figure out who this is.
We still don't know who's trying to get a hold of him, who's saying his name, who's trying to get his attention.
This is an ongoing mystery, and we'll see if it continues into December. I hope it does, because I want to talk with whoever's trying to talk to me.
All right, guys, thanks for watching this week. This was our Stanley vlog. We're about to roll into December now. We've got 2 investigations each weekend for 3 weeks before the holidays here in December. So if you guys like what you see, feel free to comment down below. Tell us your thoughts on the clips that we've gathered. Tell us your thoughts on some of the devices that we use. And if you want to see more of anything else here at the Stanley Hotel, and we'll do our best to accommodate you. So if you haven't, hit the like button on our Facebook page and stay tuned for more updates.
Yay!
There's somebody on the porch. What was curious when we started, though, was curious is my interesting. So no, it's not curious. But what was interesting? See, I said we should stop doing it. I'm as bad as anybody. Now, what's curious? But we're really, really curious to see what this is that is. It's not a bad thing when I say that we are curious to find out what it is. It's not saying it's curious. I don't know. It's just curious. I'm saying we're curious to figure out who the spirit is.
You say enchanting instead of curious?
No, I'm not going to say any adjectives.
I think enchanting would be good.
Throw the mic and just leave. Enchanting. It was just enchanting. We saw the lights, and just, it was magical to be in Lucy's room. That's making